Timer, are you ready? Speaker number 1, are you ready? What's next? Gavel ya Ashfaaq Sharifu. Gavel ya Ashfaaq Sharifu. What's next?
Look at this. 9 straight A's. And that was my brother, who on a very gloomy day bought 9 wonderful letters. But then I questioned myself. Now, during the appreciation of English literary text O-level examination, that was as long as the name of the subject, I missed a particular question. But still, I came out with a straight A for that subject. Very happy. But then the question started. What's next? College chef, ladies and gentlemen. It was indeed a time for me when things were not going very straightly. Life, as it is shown on this particular screen, is a wonderful burden. I just finished this particular examination called the O-level examination. And then, as it's clearly shown on this particular screen, there came the big boss. Advanced level. Maybe that's why they call that the advanced level. And the shorter one with a lot of base, the ordinary level. Either one, that is said, we had to do one basic thing. Choose out of 4 words. Biology, maths, commerce, and arts. Now that was a question, ladies and gentlemen, that was very difficult for me to understand. Just like how that was very difficult for me to understand, I want each and every single one of you today to have a look at this particular picture. Now, can you see a raise of hands if any one of you can see a house there? None of you? Wonderful. Just one of you. So then you see a house. Can I see a raise of hands if you can see a woman seated on a bench just behind a falling waterfall? I can see a woman seated on a bench, but I don't see a waterfall. You're wrong. But still, ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we see a lady. Similarly, can I see a raise of hands if any one of you can see an old man with pink eyebrows on that particular screen? Wonderful. I don't see it's pink. It's rather red. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that man, but with a different makeup. And that is exactly what life is. You and I, we see the big picture. But at certain points, you and I, we fail to see the small details. And this is where this small details, ladies and gentlemen, was a problem for me. Now I was in a dilemma to choose between these 4 big points. Now that was not just that dilemma, ladies and gentlemen. 5 people out of 10 who you choose are just like you and me. And that I quote to you from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development Statistics from the year 2022. So if you take 5 people out of the 10, that is 50-50, they are just like this person in the middle of the street, not knowing what to do and not knowing what to choose. And that is exactly me. People, my family members, always have this huge expectation. They want me to get a good job, they want me to get a good salary, they want me to have a good car, they want me to have a good bike, and they want me to have this and that, all at the same time. I should be myself. And there they want you to discover. People always want you to go behind this so-called untrained lineage of your family. Now you see, I have already mentioned this previously. My father was an engineer, his grandfather was an engineer, my father's 2 brothers were engineers, my mother's 2 brothers were engineers, and my mother's 2 brothers were married to 2 engineer women. And at the end of the day, if you take me, and if I happen to choose mathematics, I would have been the 25th engineer. So ladies and gentlemen, people wanted me to finish that unwritten lineage for which I never signed up. And then you come to the third and the most important problem is my passion. Now, I was not sure what to do on one hand. And on the other hand, I had this weird little passion just like this. And that passion, ladies and gentlemen, was very tangled like the wires of this particular image. And I wanted to be the person right behind the wire, and you could see it very clearly behind the wire. I was not sure where to land. I was not sure what to do. But at the end of the day, I opted to do biology. And this was something against the lineage. It was against my parents' expectation, but somewhat of my passion. And then we started the roller coaster. Ladies and gentlemen, I always thought life would be a wonderful straight line. But those 2 years of my life, there was a lot of ups. And I'm doing this up with a very sad face because that ups, ladies and gentlemen, although the often people see it as ups, I always saw it as downs. And we had the downs. I failed. I got low marks. I was rejected by the class. I had to shift schools and everything. People always wanted me to have fun. Now that was something that is very difficult to do. But at the end of the day, just like the second picture of reality, there was always ups, there was always down, and at the end of the day, I somewhat managed to have fun. So then, that brought me to a brilliant question. Do I have to be like this particular person, carrying a bundle of books, day and night, working hard, doing all the toil, or should I suffer later? Now this is what my father told, ladies and gentlemen. Ashfaaq, if you study today, carry all these books, if you get all the marks you want, at the end of the day, you don't have to suffer. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what I took in hand. Seek feedback, being consistent, accepting failure, and believing in myself. So at the end of the day, I believed in myself, I wanted to do something. And at the end of the day, I broke that lineage. So break them